Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful round. We are here at TRACKILICIOUS doing something a little bit different than normal. We're doing the draft and drive this time, and we are joined with no one other than Neil Kerbal himself. Neil, what exactly is it that we're here to do tonight?
Well, thank you for inviting me onto the broadcast, Saagar. This is actually going to be season 2 of the Draft and Drive event. Surprisingly enough, we've done this before. So this is an event that kind of blends the elements of sim racing with something popular like fantasy football, where team captains tonight will actually randomly choose or go through a draft event to choose the team, their drivers, and the car that they're going to be participating with next Sunday in a 75-minute race at Donington Park.
75-minute race, and how many drivers are going to be attached to every single team?
So team captains are required to drive for their team, and they'll be joined by 3 drivers that were drivers from the Tracklicious community have registered for this event, and the team captains will be able to select from that driver pool to be a member of their team. So it's kind of like fantasy football in the sense that you draft your dream team to participate in a race here at Tracklicious.
Oh, well, that sounds like a plan, and without any further ado, let's get to it. Is it the wheel that we're looking for next?
No, so we're going to start by introducing our team captains along with the team names that they've selected. So I'm going to start bringing in the team captains one by one. So at the start, we have Professor Chronotis. So I'm going to drag him into the stream room right now. Let's go ahead and introduce him.
All right.
Chrono.
Hello.
You've registered for the Draft and Drive event as a team captain. Go ahead and let us know what your team name is and maybe how you came up with that name and what you're looking for during this draft event.
Well, we're the draft dodgers. Shouldn't really be here. Got roped into this anyway. That was the first name that I thought of with the word draft in it. It's a very high-level process.
Yeah, well, when I did this for last season, I had AI decide my team name, and that was a kind of a mistake. I had a weird one, so it's good that you took the initiative and chose a team name that it sounds like you feel strongly about.
I feel a lot more strongly about it if I was actually able to skip this draft, but here I am. So I've failed to dodge the draft. So
Fair
it's already
enough.
off to a great start.
Off to a great
Fair
start
enough.
for this team. Indeed, Professor Chronotis. Do you have anybody in mind, or are you holding your cards close to your chest this early round of pickings?
It's hard to hold cards close to your chest if you're not holding any cards at all. I'm just gonna wing it.
The big brain
No
strategy.
practice, all glory.
Nobody will know what I'm thinking if I don't even know what I'm thinking. I love it.
Right.
Chronotis
luck to you,
approaching
Professor
this event
Chronotis.
just like he approaches practice for every race he participates in. He just does it live on the track.
Fantastic.
All right. Chronotis, anything else to add before we move you back and bring in the next captain?
Nope. Let's get this moving along.
All right. Bringing you back, and let me bring in Mason Perchelski. Hello, Mason. How are you doing
he
tonight?
says. How's it going,
Just
Mason?
doing phenomenal, barely made it back in time, but we're here.
Looks like you also barely had any time to select a team name. Would you like to introduce your team for this event?
Yeah, my team name is Mason. Please name your team. The draft is today, because Neil messaged me like 4 times saying, Mason, please name your team. The draft is tomorrow. And then I got one this morning saying, Mason, please name your team, because the draft is today. And he yelled at me, so I had to come up with something.
I did yell. At you.
He exclaimed.
There were many exclamation marks in the messages that I sent you.
True.
Saagar, you
That's
want to
Steven.
ask him questions?
I think I'm more curious about what you guys have planned, but it seems like the common thread between everybody right now is that they really have no plans for their draft and dodge right now, because that's what it seems to be, a whole bunch of draft dodgers trying to come to this event. So I'll let the drivers and the captains do their talking when the pickings get started. How about that?
True. I've been hanging around Chrono too much, and so I'm no longer coming up with plans for things.
I
He
like it.
picked up chrono habits.
Yeah, I'm picking up, starting to, by association, I'm starting to just not practice and just show up to things right on time without any preparation. So,
Excellent. Love
Yeah.
to see it.
It's the same way I'm running this stream.
sweet.
Anything else to add, Mason, before we introduce the next captain?
My team will be winning. That's all I know.
Do it.
Like he does in Syntho Drive, Mason is announcing that he will win this draft and drive season. So shots have already been fired.
There we go.
All
Good
right.
luck to you, Mason.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's bring in the next team captain. This is Ilpo Ratsalainen. Ilpo, you're on stream.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Ilpo,
Go ahead
how's it
and
going?
It's a good day when you get to pick funny cars and people for your team.
Yeah, in fact, you were part of my team last season, so I'm happy to see you back participating in this event again.
It's gonna be fun, I hope.
I hope so,
the team-
Ralston.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce your team name and how you came up with it.
Yeah, well, so the team is Apex Not Found. That's my usual team whenever I do endurance racing with some friends or something other funny. And I mean, that's obviously just a joke on the HTTP status code 404 not found. We obviously cannot find any of the apexes of the corners.
So hopefully during the race, your team is able to find the apexes, find some decent lap times. Although depending on what kind of car, have any information share your plans, since the two we have no plan throwing it.
Sorry, my
Kind of
Discord.
came in like a robot there for a minute, Neil. Can you repeat
Oh.
that last question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we just talked to two cats, and we are both winging it tonight for the draft. Do you have a plan? Are you willing to share that with us?
Oh, I do have some plans, but I'm not gonna share them yet because I know the other captains are listening.
Excellent. And then anything else to share before we pass you back to the green room and introduce the next captain?
No, I just hope nobody picks some really bad meme cars. Let's hopefully stick to kind of mediocre meme cars.
The middle of the ground. Yeah, last season was kind of spicy on the car selections.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, Ilpo. I'm going to drag you back into the green room and bring in our next team captain, which is Joshua Worley. Go ahead, Joshua Worley. Please introduce yourself as well as the team that you have registered to participate in this event.
Oh man. Well, I'm here with the Backmarker Bandits. I don't know where that name came from. I don't have a backstory to it.
I like it. I really do.
But as far as the strategy here and these other guys, I've got one, but depending on what they nominate, it's going to change everything.
Okay, so we've talked to two captains so far that have no plan and two captains that have a plan but are not sharing. So it's good to see some differing plans going out there. Saagar, do you have any questions for Joshua?
No questions at this time. I'm ready for the draft.
Excellent. Well, anything else to add, Joshua, before we introduce the next captain?
Like, as long as we don't end up as any back markers, we'll be good.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you for your time. I'm going to drag you back into the green room. Let's go ahead and introduce the next captain on our list. This is Luke Lazama. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Luke Lazama, and the team that you have registered with the Draft and Drive event.
Hi, my name is Zama, and I've registered as Doma Racing.
So tell me a little bit about Doma Racing. Where'd you come up with that name?
It was a name I used for an old Gran Turismo team, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna reuse it for this because I never had a reason to reuse it ever again.
Nice. I've raced with you a few times in other leagues, and I know your SimGrid score is a little low compared to what I would expect it to be. So I'm interested to see how you fare on track. Do you have any plan for the draft event? Like, have you done any strategy looking at the sheet so far?
I have done some strategy. I think people are underestimating some of these low-end car picks. I think some of these cars can actually work pretty well. And from my knowledge, on an old CrowdStrike event that happened, I've seen people drive these old cars for fun and actually do pretty well if you know how to set them up. So I think just giving yourself a day and learning how to set up like an old car, you can actually get really good times.
That's actually a really good point. In fact, to the other team captains, if you're listening, if you do set up one of those
yeah, they can be really useful.
Yeah, those unideal cars, it may be a good idea to share those setups with
Yeah.
your team just so you're operating on the same setup.
Mm-hmm.
Saagar, any questions for Luke Lizama?
No, it's surprising to see Luke with such a low average grid rating so far already, when I know his pace in every single race has been towards the front. So I'm excited to see how this pans out for the rest of this event. That's for sure.
Yeah, obviously I've been like planning this, have a low sim grid rating so I can get like
Just
picks.
sandbagging, yeah, sandbagging this low team average for the past 6 months.
Yeah, for the 6 months. Oh yeah, 6 months. Yeah.
Right on.
Just
Thank
gotta
you very much, Luke.
Participate in
guys.
more events, Luke. Yeah, anything else to add before we drag you back into the green room?
Turn 1 is flat. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Dragging Luke back into the green room, and let's bring in our next team captain. This is going to be Potts Weaver.
We call him Big
Pots.
Pots.
We call him Big Pots. You're dragged into the screen room. Go ahead and introduce yourself as well as the team that you are participating in this event with.
Hello, this is my second season with Draft and Drive. I was a backup captain here. I elected to stand aside, but no one stepped up to the plate, so here I am, happy to do it again. I'm here with the Drop and the Hammer. Not super original, but it's my favorite movie if you're familiar with Days of Thunder.
Didn't you drive the M6 last season and you had like a Thor-inspired livery?
Yes, yeah. It was
Okay.
made by, I believe, Steven Music.
Okay. Yeah, he was part of your team. That's awesome. So I'm interested to see if you get another custom livery for this season, depending on what car you select. Do you want to give us any hints as to what you're thinking for a nomination?
As for a car, not really. There's a few that stand out that I really like to see on track that are hopefully not OP and are in line with all the other picks. In terms of drivers, there's only 2 or 3 drivers on this list that I have not at least been on the track with. So I do like to pick people that I haven't teamed up with before, just to get to know them and have fun on track with them.
Yeah, it's actually a great call out for this type of event is you're often driving with people that you have not driven with before. It sort of expands your social interaction with the sim racing community. So that's a nice shout out, Potts.
Yeah.
Anything further to add before we introduce the last team captain?
No. And all I can say is, Harry, these guys are going down.
All right. Thanks
All
for joining
right.
us, Potts.
Moving back, and then now we're going to introduce last season's winner of the Draft and Drive event. This is going to be Casey Schutte. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, yeah, Casey Schutte. Team is, what is my team name again? Oh yeah, that's right. Dodge, Duck, Dip, Dive, and Dodge Racing.
You say it so well, like you're
Yeah.
literally in dodgeball.
Well, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a car. So that was kind of the theory behind, especially after the meme cars last week. So, or last time, excuse me. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you remember what you drove last time?
I drove the Lexus.
That's right. So that
Yeah.
was a good pick because you ended up coming out on top. P1
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
team championship. So you're back defending your title.
Yeah, we had a good team that last round. So yeah, we got lucky not just on the car, but on the driver's side of things. So yeah, it turned out quite well for us, and we'll see how things kind of work out this time.
Awesome. Saagar, anything else to add?
Yeah, Casey, if you had to pick 2 drivers on the list that you do not want on your team other than Luke Lizama, who would you pick and why?
2 drivers I do not want.
Yes.
Oh, geez. Well, where's Eric? Okay, there's Eric.
Okay. One down.
And where's Raza? Oh yeah, Raza. Don't
Okay.
want Raza. No,
All right.
No.
All right. Well, I think
No.
I already know the reason why you don't want Eric, but why not Raza?
I'm just.
You just don't want to raise the average grid rating too high. I see.
Yeah,
I see.
we got to keep things at a nice, average Joe's kind of place.
I gotcha.
That Raza pick is going to bump that average SimGrid team rating score through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh yes, quite a bit. But yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I know they're up there talking quite a bit up there in the green room about cars and things, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Kind of like last time. Yeah, you just kind of wait and see what's up. And as far as strategies go, I mean, I know the last draft and drive, I had a strategy put together, and it pretty much went out the window with the couple picks ahead of me, and we switched up and got lucky. So we'll see. Kind of have some things in mind, but yeah, we'll see what the cars are, and depending on where that goes, we'll go from there, and we'll see how those first few picks go.
Good stuff, Casey.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Casey. I'm going to drag you back into the green room, and then we'll actually get started with the next step of the process, which is going to be the picker wheel. Or no, we're going into car nominations.
Yeah.
So we're going to go from lowest SimGrid score to highest. So I'll get that started. I'm going to drag you back into the green room, Casey.
Sounds good.
All right, so next step in this process, Saagar, is actually going to be the car nominations. So these are cars that the team captains will nominate for the draft event. That does not mean that they have that car for the team. It just means that they're nominating that car to be included in the draft for either their team or another team captain to pick. So we're doing this at the start before picking the draft order to kind of make things a little bit more uncertain. So they don't know who's going first.
And so at either one of the round picks, it sounds like they're able to pick either a car or a driver then. So everybody will nominate a car, and then it sounds like they'll be able to do a roll of the dice for rounds 1 through 4 to pick their other 3 teammates. That makes sense to me.
Correct. Yeah, so you could come out of the gate and pick a car, and then you may not get good driver choices when your turn comes back, because we're doing a snake draft order pick.
Tracking. Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring in Potts Weaver. He's going to be the first car nomination. All right, Potts, we're up to the nomination part. Which car are you nominating for the draft event?
Well, after some deliberation, as some of the other captains know these cars a little bit better than I do, I am going to choose the AMR Vantage V12.
Ooh.
That's a nice pick. I do like the AMR Vantage, especially the V12 choice. That car sounds so nice. Do you have a lot of Oh, go ahead, Saagar.
No, I was just going to say, so the nominations go in any order then, is that correct? Not necessarily Potts underneath him?
Correct. So we're going to do nominations based on SimGrid score. So I'm just doing it from left to right, adding in the cars, and then the team captains will be able to select those cars from the sheet.
All right.
Good choice. Good start to the nomination round. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the next team captain, which I believe is Luke Lizama. Welcome back to the stream room, Luke Lizama. Go ahead and let us know what car you are nominating for the draft.
Oh, okay. So I will be nominating the BMW M6 GT3.
The M6. So we had the M6
Yeah.
last season. What is your reasoning behind picking the M6?
It is actually, again, it is one of those cars where it's like, it's old, but if you can get it in a window, it can be really good. And I think the V12 is just like that as well. But the thing with the V12 is that you have to run TC off, which is the only downside. But I think I'm going to go with the theme here with that first pick. Slow cars that can work.
Awesome. I like these picks so far. Saagar, anything you want to add to that?
No, I was just surprised that you didn't say the CS2 BMW to really throw a wrench in everybody's game here. But no, glad to see.
Oh,
the
yeah,
GT3.
true. Oh, my God. Yeah, we could just... To be honest, if I picked that, it would have been unfair. You know, like... yeah.
Don't want to do laps around people, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to lap anybody.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, thank you, Luke.
guys.
Let me bring in our next team captain, and this is based on SimGrid score. So this is going to be Joshua Worley. You are now on the stream deck. Go ahead and give us your car nomination for this draft and drive event.
Well, these guys stole my first 2 picks.
You actually had the V12 and the BMW M6 top 2 choices?
Yes.
Nice.
So we are going to stoop down to the Honda NSX, not the Evo.
The original Honda NSX. Okay, I've driven the Honda NSX Evo, and that car is very difficult to drive. Do you have a lot of experience driving just the original Honda NSX?
No, I just want to see different cars on the track.
Okay. This could be considered quite the spicy car selection, Saagar. What do you think?
It's getting there, that's for sure. This is getting nice and trolly as far as I can tell.
Excellent choice, Josh. Anything else you want to add?
I just hope I didn't unintentionally pick the worst car in the world.
There's worse cars out there. Yeah, there's worse cars out there. So I like the pick so far. I like seeing a Honda on the grid regardless of who's driving it. All right. Let me go ahead and drag you back to the green room, and then let's bring in our next team captain to make a nomination. And I'm looking at the scores. I believe this is going to be Professor Chronotis. Chronotis, you've been brought back to the stream room. We're going to get your car nomination for the draft event. So far, we have the AMR Vantage V12, the BMW M6, and the Honda NSX. What are you going to add to this?
Let's go with the car that I started out driving this game, and the first car I committed to, the Ferrari 488.
Is this going to be the Evo?
No, the old one.
Ooh, very nice. I picked the Evo last season, so I have a fondness for the 488.
Nice bold choices.
Also, another car that sounds really good, especially when you're upshifting and downshifting that turbo. All right. Thank you, Chronotis, for that selection. I'm going to drag you back into the green room, and then let's bring in our next captain, who I believe is... Let's see. I believe this is going to be Mason Perchalski. Mason, go ahead and let us know what car you're going to nominate for this draft and drive event. We've gotten 4 pretty spicy picks so far. Nothing mainstream. What are you going to add to it?
I'm just kidding. Mason, please name your team. The draft is today. Selects the Porsche 991.
Oh,
991.
man.
Not the not the Eve or the R, just the 991.
Got it. So I think we had the R last season. Is there any reason behind choosing the 991?
I asked them in there, and they said choose the 991, not the 991R. So I obliged to not, make any bad relationships with the other captains. So
you're listening to the other captains for advice right now?
I would say I want to have a good relationship with other drivers. I don't want any of them to crash me off intentionally because of a car choice. So we went with the 991.
Okay, a very diplomatic choice. I like it.
Exactly.
He
well,
has
thank you,
no
Mason.
plan, so he had to go with what everybody else fed him, I guess.
Exactly. There it is.
Yeah, crowdsource your nominations, right?
Yeah, Chat GPT'd it. That's what it said.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mason, for that selection. I'm going to drag you back into the green room, and let's bring in our next team captain to make their nomination. So this is going to be Casey Schutte, our last season's first place team victory winner. Casey, having gone through this one time before and seeing what cars have been nominated, what is your nomination?
Yeah, so recalling back the last time, I don't think we had this manufacturer on the grid.
Bentley.
If I recall, I'm not going to go Bentley. We're going to go with the old Merc, not the Evo, the original Merc.
The original McLaren?
No.
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Oh, the original Mercedes.
The original AMG. So
not the
yeah,
2020.
Yeah, I think that stays in line here with some of the things we've got going on. So let's go with a Merc. We didn't have one in the last draft and drive, so let's throw one out there this round.
So Casey, I do have a question for you. I thought your team name was named after Dodgeball, not the movie Old School. Why are we sticking with all of these old school cars? Like, this is agreed. Patrick Dubois, this is the draft and drive classics. What is happening here? What do I not understand about this event so far, Casey?
No, it's a fun event. So, this is kind of the land of the misfit children when it comes to the cars. So it gives these cars a chance to get out there and get ran a little bit, makes it interesting. Things that, if we threw an Aston, V8 out there, that wouldn't be much fun. I mean, I drive that car all the time. So I think it's fun. It makes it interesting. You have to do some setups for these things, do some tweaking. It's not something that there's, a lot of available info out there for. So, have fun. It's a one-off special event. Let's make it fun.
Right on. Thank you very much for explaining that, Casey. I appreciate your humor too.
Yeah, no problem. Yep.
Good luck.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, good luck. I'm going to drag you back, Casey, and bring in our last team captain to make a vehicle nomination. Ilpo, go ahead and let us know what car you are nominating for this draft and drive event.
So kind of to follow the theme of things, I think we need the Jag.
Nice. Okay. People have been asking for it. People have been begging for the Jag, and you give it the people what they want. I like you already, Ilpo.
Yeah, the Jag seems to be a staple in most of these. We had it last season. We're bringing it back. It is such an iconic car. Also, as a commentator, Saagar, are you going to do the Jag line every time you talk about it on stream?
The Jag? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd probably just start. No. I'll probably just start going "Rawr" every time I talk about the Jaguar.
I mean, that's how it sounds. I love the sound of that car too.
Just start
All
making
right.
little cat noises.
It is definitely not a meow car. All right. Thank you for keeping up with the old school vibe, Ilpo, and bringing us the Jag into the car nominations for this draft and drive event.
I would have also preferred to see the old school boat Cornfield Caster, but the Jag is also fine in my book. I agree with that 110%. The Bentley would have been the cat's meow. No pun intended.
All right, let me bring Ilpo back into the green room. All right, so what are you thinking so far of these car nominations, Saagar?
This is madness. This is absolute madness.
I love these choices.
I thought I've actually seen madness before, but this is like the most ridiculous circus clown car choices I've ever seen in my life. It's almost worse than seeing nothing but a BMW multi-class grid right now.
And the great thing about it is a lot of these cars you don't actually see on stream anymore because nobody drives them.
Correct. That's the thing I'm going to be most excited about for 1 week from today is watching all these cars go around in a glorified semicircle together. all at the same time and seeing how their balance is really just how the cars all balance out against each other, especially after all these years of being so far apart. But we'll have to see what happens when the drivers actually start picking their teams and seeing what their average grid ratings look like and what cars they ended up picking. So time will tell really what's going to happen for the rest of these picks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see these drivers kind of wrestle these cars out on Donington and see what kind of lap times they're able to extract from them.
Yeah, and it's not like Donington's an easy track with a ton of runoff. It's not Spa-Francorchamps. It's no Barcelona. It's no... it's not unlike any other track you've been at before. It's an old school British style GT track. So going off track, having bad setups that aren't balanced for every single driver are going to be so challenging to manage. And that's one of the things I'm going to look forward to the most, is seeing how the drivers are able to balance everything out on race day. That's for sure. And they're going to have 1 week to practice, let alone get alone to know their team.
Today.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good learning experience for all these drivers to drive something that they may have never even touched in ACC before.
Yeah, and a lot of these drivers, they have full-time jobs in the meantime too. They have other series that they're racing in as well. So a lot of these people will not have time to get as much practice as I think they'll need potentially, especially if you're driving something like the Porsche 991 or the Honda NSX, to be able to give feedback back to your crew or to your captain and say, hey, this is what I really don't like about the setup. I feel like it's really going to come down to the wire Friday, Saturday time, to where people are going to say, oh man, I really don't like this setup that people have already been practicing on for a week potentially.
Yeah. So it's going to be quite the learning process. And like you said, there's only 1 week. We have a race next Saturday, and all of these cars are going to be on the grid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. But now I think it's time for Spin That Wheel. Am I correct or no? Not yet.
You are correct. This is going to determine the draft order. So I believe you have a scene set up for the picker wheel and all the captains added to it.
Yes, I do. And the scene is now set. And obviously, we got to give it the drum roll, please, of... Come on, Luke. Get in here. Thank you very much for getting in there with me. I appreciate that, Neil. You're now the homie.
We practiced this, right?
Now you're down to ride or die for the rest of my life.
Awesome.
All right, let's spin this wheel. First spin is away.
So this is going to determine who gets to go first in the draft order.
Ooh.
So go ahead and let
that was
me know.
close. Luke Lizama is selected. All right.
All right, so Luke Lizama gets to go first. I'm a little behind on the stream, so go ahead and give me the next team captain when it's selected.
Sounds good. So Luke Lizama has been selected first. Who is up second? It will go to Mr. Potts Weaver. Dropping
the hammer, just drop the hammer. Potts Weaver is going second in this draft order.
Now, would you really want to be first, second, or third, or do you want to be somewhere? I mean, I guess third is right in the middle. And speaking of right in the middle, Mason Perchowski is going to be stuck in the middle here with the third pick.
Mason in the middle. I think the middle is a pretty good spot. I was last in the draft order last season, and I kind of liked being there because I got to pick a driver and a car all at the same time.
That's a good setup. Casey Chute is going to be up next. I think he's going to be fourth on our list.
Yep, got him on there.
Let's hide that choice and let's spin. We've only got 3 people left. And of course, when it gets down to one person, we will spin again just for the spinning sake. I didn't set this graphic up for no reason. Ilpo Rausalainen will be...
It's going to be fifth, right?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so we got 2 more. The Draft Dodgers, Professor Notice.
Yes. And who is Joshua Worley's team? What is he driving?
He's Well, we don't know what he's driving yet, but he is the Backmarker Bandits.
Okay, so Backmarker Bandits are going to go last. Professor Chronotis got picked this time, so 6th place for Professor Chronotis' team.
All right.
And we'll just spin that
go
wheel
ahead and
one last time.
Spin that wheel. We got one selection on there. Just go ahead and spin
Watch it land on the sliver that's there.
Who will it be?
Joshua Worley is the Backmarker Bandit himself.
Last in the draft pick order, but me personally, I kind of like being there, just seeing what the other team captains select, as well as you get to go twice. You get to go last in round 1 and first in round 2.
All right.
So not a bad place to be.
Yeah, no, not too bad at all. I definitely would rather not be first, because then you have to wait the longest amount of time before you get your pick again.
But you do get to go first, so if you want to like pick a car and prevent any other captain from picking that car, it's kind of a good place to be.
Yeah, I guess, but I'd rather get the double pick in. That's pretty good for Joshua Worley getting squirrely for the Backmarker Bandits.
Yeah, he's in a good position, especially with how we're doing the snake draft order. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and update the order. Any questions so far, or anything to add about these nominations or the team selections or the draft?
No, I'm
order?
ready to hear it.
All right. So that should be updated. We got Luke Lazama first. Do you see that on your page? Like I said, I'm watching the stream, so I'm a little behind.
Let me double check. I just had to switch something over very quickly. I see Luke Lazama on first. We're still at the draft, correct?
We're still on the draft sheet, correct?
Correct. So I see Luke Lazama, Potts, Mason Pirchowski, Casey Shute, Ilpo, Professor Kronos, and then Joshua Huerly.
Excellent. All right. So, without further ado, I think we're ready to start this draft selection. So we're going to bring in our first team captain, who was randomly selected to go first. This is going to be Luke Lazama. You got the opportunity of being first to select either driver or car. How are you going to proceed?
I would like to select driver.
Ooh.
And what driver?
Don't say Ali Raza.
If you give me 1 second, it is Jake Wells.
Jake Wells. Okay, that is also a top dog pick.
Yeah.
I've raced against the guy.
Oh, go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I've raced against the guy. He seems really quick, and he seems pretty cool. And you know what? I want to race with people who are cool. You know.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I don't see, and one thing I know about Jake Wells is he drives a lot of McLaren. I haven't seen him drive anything else, and I'm not seeing a McLaren on the nominations.
Well, it's a first time for everything.
Excellent.
Wow. Gonna shake that stick off of its original branch. I see how it is. Jake Wells, I see you in the chat. Everybody's giving him kudos. Oh, shucks. He's a little embarrassed.
Yeah, he's first.
Yeah.
Jakey boy.
Yeah, Jake, in fact, if you want to hop on stream, feel free to hop into one of the general voice channels and we can bring you in. Maybe you can give some
get your
advice
reaction.
to Luke Lazama. Yeah, get a reaction.
Yeah, I'd love your advice. Jake, what car are we picking?
Oh, actually, he is in the green room. I'm going to drag Jake onto the stream room.
Jake, welcome to Doma Racing.
Jake, first pick in the draft selection.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed. My cheeks are a little red at this point, but I'm here. We're gonna win. Luke is a fast gentleman as well, so I mean, our team is stacked already. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, between of you two, Jake Wells, I think you actually finished third in the West Coast Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, the last race. Yep,
Yeah.
last race.
Oh, was it just the last race? I thought it was actually in the championship as well. I could have read that wrong.
No, I was not able to make all the races.
Okay. But either
So,
way,
yep.
if you had attended all the races, I have a feeling like you would have been in the top 5 for sure. You ended up in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, after our last interview that we had. So again, you're no slouch yourself. How does it feel to be paired up with someone as quick as Luke Lazama? I know you've seen him on track before. Not too far ahead of you either in most cases that you guys have been on track together.
No, not at all. I think we're gonna have a good team. Put us in whatever car you guys want. Confident, baby. Confidence.
Sounds good.
That is quite a lot of confidence, Jake. Thank you so much for hopping in and speaking to us and giving some advice to your team captain. I don't know if it's helpful, but we'll see how it
Wait,
pans
what was the
out.
advice? I thought he was just like monologuing.
Just pick anything.
I was trying to manifest.
Yeah.
just manifest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
manifest.
he's already decided that your team has won, so
What was that,
whatever
Jake?
you
Jake,
pick.
991? 991? Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think Jake said, as long as Luke is making the setup, I'll drive anything.
Yeah, we'll be all right. It'll be fun to drive something else.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be
Awesome.
fun.
Well, thank you both for your time. I'm going to drag you guys back into the green room. And let's bring in our second team captain in the draft order. Potts Weaver, welcome. You are second up. What are you going to choose, driver or car?
Seeing as I'm not very familiar with any of these cars, I feel that I can make do with whatever is picked. So I feel I need to pick a driver who is more familiar with these cars to help build a setup. I was between two choices, and some of the other captains tried to steer me in a different direction, but I think I have to pick the obvious choice, Ali Raza.
Ali Raza.
Second up in the draft selection order. Ali, are you around? Do you want to be brought in for an interview? Maybe give some advice to your team captain on dropping the hammer?
I haven't
We'll
seen
see,
him in chat yet. That doesn't mean
Okay.
that he's not here.
Well, that is a very strong pick for your team, Potts. You're actually beating out Doma Racing right now in the average grid rating with a 1397.
That's
Yeah.
pretty skewed. That's pretty skewed, though.
Even though I've been on track with Ali, I've had a few conversations with him. He's a stand-up guy, so I'm looking forward to this.
He is a stand-up guy. I've driven with him as well. He's always there to help out, so that is a good selection. He's going to really help you out, whatever car your team selects, getting it set up and driving it competitively. All right. Thank you, Potts. I'm going to drag you back into the green room. Let's bring in our third team captain in the draft order. This is going to be Mason Parachalski of the Mason. Please name your team. The draft is today.
That it is.
What is the draft is today?
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
What are you going to pick, driver or car?
I tried to slander Raza to get him to fall to 3, but didn't work. We're gonna go with driver, and we are going to go with Mason. Please name your team. The draft is today. Would like to select Tyler Carr from Fear Nothing Moto.
Carr. The lone FNM entry. Wow. What is your reasoning behind picking Tyler Carr?
You know, maybe we get a cool FNM livery for one of these classic cars. You know,
That's a darn good reason. That's a
that's the
darn good
reason.
reason.
Yeah.
And no slouch indeed. Tyler Carr has done well in the West Coast Wednesday himself for racing overall. But I've seen him go up and down in the grids. He's had some mixed results. Are you worried about that in any chance? In any way?
No, it kind of fits with me as like a mixed results person myself. So, and Tyler Carr's way faster than me, so you know it'll be good. It'll be good.
Right on.
Well, I know you're faster in GT4 because you're the last GT4 Open champion.
That is true, but these are GT3s, and I am a scrub in GT3s. But that's what Tyler Carr's for. That's what my first round pick's for, to carry the squad.
Carry the squad, Tyler Carr.
All right,
His
this
name's
is his
Carr.
keystone.
He was born to race cars. His last name's Carr.
Well, let's ask Tyler Carr how he feels about this pick. I'm dragging him into the stream room now. Tyler, you are on stream with your team captain.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do
Good
you
pick.
know today is the draft?
I did know today was the draft.
Better than me.
Any advice for your team captain? Other drivers to select? Maybe a car that you got your eyes set on?
If I'm honest, I have no idea about any of these cars. Like, I just started playing this game January, so I am not
Nice.
familiar with any of these cars. But, you know, whatever car we pick, we'll figure it out, and we're gonna kill it.
Yep, exactly. And Tyler Carr was slated as a 4th-round pick according to chat, so it seems like I might have overdrafted, but we'll see.
Correction. He was
That's
actually
why the,
initially rated as a
FNM
6th round draft pick, but someone realized that there were only 4 rounds, so then they had to
Oh, there it is. There
lower
it is.
their ante.
Yeah,
we
that
might
was
have
like-
overpaid. We might have overpaid. We'll find out.
Well, not too bad of an average SimGrid score as we're looking at it right now, 1246. You're right in the middle, but we've only done 3 selections so far, so let's see what else round 1 from the other team captains can give us. Thank you, Mason, and thank you, Tyler, for hopping in and speaking with us.
Thank
Thanks,
you guys.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Casey Schutte. Casey, you are now on stream. You are 4th in the round 1 selection order. Are you going car or driver this time?
Yeah, I don't know. Last time I went car first. So looking at kind of what we have going on here.
You can't pitch Patrick DeBois. He's already said that he's slotted in for round 15.
Round 15, eh?
Yeah, so he's off the table, untakeable until at least round 12.
Well, I'm actually going to go with someone that I know enjoys driving some meme cars at times and can figure them out a little bit, and is going to be a teammate of mine for a Nords 24 here. We're going to go with JP Reed.
What? JP Reed, okay. I'm trying to predict the predictions. That's not lining up for me.
I know JP jumps into the KTM and GT4s and then can do some different things. It's generally pretty quick. So I've had my thoughts about grabbing JP as once this car selections kind of came up. So yeah, let's go ahead and give Mr. Reed a roll here and see how we do.
I think that's a really strong pick, Casey. I've driven with JP Reed and seen the lap times that he puts in, regardless of the car. If you think that car is down and out, JP Reed will put in a competitive lap. So I think that's a really strong pick.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in for a show then. I haven't seen JP race before, so I'm excited to see how he does going forward. Awesome. Thanks for the insider information, boys.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to drag you back, Casey, and let's bring in our next team captain in the draft pick order. This is going to be Ilpo Repsalainen. You are 5th up in the draft order for the team Apex Not Found. Go ahead and let us know what you're selecting, car or driver, for round 1.
So I'm gonna follow what everybody else is doing and pick a driver. And my choice for driver is Jace Wright.
Finally.
Jace Wright.
Finally.
He actually, Saagar, placed 3rd overall in the Wednesday West Coast GT3 Championship.
It was the other JW. My bad.
It was the other JW.
Yeah.
Ilpo, any reason behind your selection?
I mean, he's the obvious next choice based on my research that I did earlier today. A very solid driver, so I need that because he's probably even better than me. So I need drivers better than me to win this.
Yeah, Jace Wright is a very consistent driver. He's put down some consistent lap times every time that I've seen him driving out on track. And obviously he did, as Neil just said, win 3rd place in the West Coast Wednesday. So he's no slouch to GT3 driving. The only wrench in his parade might be the car that is chosen next. Have you talked to him at all about car choices or anything like that?
No, I haven't spoken to the drivers. I did some research on what I've seen them drive in the past to help me, but yeah. I think just overall picking the driver is more important right now than picking the car because the car selection is kind of pretty reasonably well balanced.
That's actually a very good opinion. The cars are well
really
balanced.
Good point. Well, thank you, Ilpo, for adding in your selection for round 1. We're going to drag you back into the green room and bring in our next team captain. This is going to be Professor Kronotis of the Draft Dodgers. You are 6th up in the round 1 of the draft event. What are you going with? We've seen other team captains choose a driver, which is kind of interesting compared to last season when we actually had some car selections in round 1. Are you going to keep with the driver selection, or are you going to pick a car this time?
Well, there's no Nissan 2015 turd on the list, so if everyone else takes a car, then the car that you get left with isn't that bad, so there's no rush. And I've only got 2 picks coming back to me anyway, so the cars are all kind of similar tier, but I think we're getting close to the edge of a driver tier. If I want someone close to the top there, I've got to take Siege Engine.
CJ Engine. What do you know about CJ Engine? Did you do any research?
I know that he has a higher SimGrid rating than you. Which is the next, would be the next highest remaining driver.
Amazing
I don't
research.
know how to feel about that. I
Amazing
don't know how to
research.
feel about that. All right. Well, awesome. Good selection. Kind of hurt just slightly that I wasn't picked. We did some endurance races together, and we're always crashing into each other on track. So, would have been
decision.
It's a business decision. Got it. Okay.
All right, Chronotus, it sounds like we'll see you at round 15 then for your next pick. Somehow, I think we're going to skip you for the next 12 rounds.
That would be highly unethical.
It would match your team name, though.
would
We can
match your
just
team
skip
name.
you, and you can live up to being a draft dodger.
Right? You should have just
All right, thanks.
joined and said, I'm here so I don't get fined. And then said, I pick nothing.
Randomly select. Roll some dice.
Yeah, roll some dice. Auto draft.
Auto draft. All right, thank you, Chronotus. I'm going to drag you back and bring in our last team captain. This is going to be Joshua Worley of the Backmarker Bandits, following up as a backmarker in the draft order for round 1. What are you going to select, Joshua?
I'm looking at all the names that have disappeared and not knowing a lot of these people anymore. I'm going to go with, for the Backmarker Bandits' first pick of this draft, is going to be Darren Wicks.
That's a good pick. I'm happy to see Darren get picked in the first round. That's a darn good pick.
He has a lower SimGrid score than me, though.
SimGrid score is like having a score on the SATs. It's an inflated number attached to your name that shows how well you can perform, but it doesn't show you how well you can perform at rebuilding a car engine, or your driver skill, or your craft of the trade, or maybe just he likes crashing into people. Who knows?
Well, it's a good selection. Anything you want to add to the reasoning behind going with Darren Wicks, or maybe you want to let us know what you're doing for the first pick of round 2, since it is still your turn.
So my pick of Darren Wicks is solely based on the purpose of I've seen him drive the GTR in the Wednesday series. He's quick. It's a straight line car, which leads us to my second pick, which is going to be the V12 Aston Martin Vantage.
Ooh. First car
We
pick
got our
out the gate.
First car pick. So this is way different than season 1, where we had 3 car picks in round 1. And I feel like Ilpo was on point with saying that a lot of these cars are very evenly matched. So jumping the gun and getting a car early is not as important this time around. Is that your reasoning, Joshua?
It might not be the best call. I just feel like it's a good fit for me and Darren, and I want to get it there before anyone else snags it.
Awesome. Saagar, anything else to add?
No, I just wanted to comment on chat. 55 Garage said, this is peak content. Neil getting frustrated with the draft. This is what we paid to see. Was the funniest comment I've seen tonight. Thank you very much.
What's that
smile on the
emote?
face.
Like a tea kettle just boiling over? Like I'm going to start making some high-pitched whistling noises?
Yeah, in about 5 seconds. If another round goes by and Neil does not get picked, yeah, Neil's just going to start like humming to himself in the background.
Just gonna go in the fetal position, grab my legs, and pull them close to my chest, and just rock back and forth.
Start commenting to your teeth. And who do you pick, Elbow?
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting real angry if I don't get picked soon. Well, thank you, Joshua. I'm gonna drag you back, and let's bring in Professor Kernotis. Round 2.
I'm not sure a car is going to get back to me, but I'm still leaning to a driver.
Oh.
Are you?
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
cards
this
are
is some
kinda even.
insider information from the green room, guys.
Yeah.
So what do you
Sneaky dragging me into stream here, are you guys?
Yes, we
no
are.
no notification. We're just dragging you willy-nilly. Second round, we're up to you. You've picked CJ Engine as a driver. You don't have a car yet. What are you picking?
Oh,
We don't need
to
cars.
be honest,
where
I
we're
still
going.
haven't decided. So we're just gonna flip a coin, so to speak.
Do it.
Ooh.
And
Got some Saagar Emperor Palpatine here saying do it.
Roll the dice. Do your best Jesse impression. Roll the D20. The anticipation is killing me.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the Ferrari.
Ooh,
Oh,
the
okay.
Ferrari 488.
All right.
Almost took a driver.
Was that actually part of your random selection, or did you actually roll dice?
No, I spent the time thinking, and I decided that I would rather have fun driving the old Ferrari than I would maximizing my results in the event. If I really wanted to win, I probably would have taken a driver.
Okay.
But I wanted to drive the Ferrari more than I wanted to win the event, is what I decided.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Saagar,
So,
anything
there we
to
go.
add to that?
No, I was going to ask what driver he would have picked, but I think that would have spilt the beans. So onwards and upwards to Ilpo Rausalainen next.
Thank you, Kurno. I'm gonna drag you back. Next in round 2 is going to be Ilpo Ratsalainen of Apex Not Found. You've selected Jace Wright as your first driver. What are you going with in round 2?
Yeah, so this was made a little bit complicated now that people started picking cars. I think I'm also gonna have to pick a car so that I get the choice I want. So I'm choosing the BMW M6.
Wow.
Any reasoning behind that? Have you done many laps with the BMW M6?
Yes, it is out of the remaining cars, probably the one I feel most confident with for being able to be on pace. So I'm hoping that my teammates can adapt to it, but I also, because I know the car relatively well, I can probably help them a little bit if needed.
Interesting.
It's a very calculated decision. I like where you're going with that, Ilpo.
So Ilpo, is it fair to assume that you're not here to have fun, but you're here to win the race, based on your car choice?
I would say that the primary goal is always to win. I mean, it is a competition after all, but obviously we also want to have fun on the side. But I mean, I'll probably have more fun in a car that I can drive than, let's say, the Honda, which I can probably only crash. So
fair enough.
I know that feeling all too well with the Honda.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Ilpo. I'm going to drag you back, and we'll bring in our next selection for this draft event. This is going to be Casey Schutte of Dodge, Duck, Dip, Dive, and Dodge Race. God, that is so much to say, Casey.
I did it originally all for Mr. Nos. That was a part of the ambiance there for that name.
Well, it is quite the mouthful. Will you go ahead and let us know for round 2 what you are selecting? A lot of captains have selected cars for their round 2 pick. Are you going to follow suit?
Yeah, there seems to be a quite a big run on cars, and
Pick the
kind of
M6.
looking at things, I'm gonna go ahead and pick a car as well. And since I tend to drive a front engine car, I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna pick the car I nominated, the AMG.
Wow.
Now, I asked Ilpo if he had experience with the M6, which is what he selected. Do you have a lot of experience with the 2020 AMG? Do you think that can transfer over to its predecessor?
I've got a little bit. I know it can understeer, but just thinking about the track in Donington, going through the chicane and such, the hope is that it handles some of those curbs a little bit better. Maybe is a little bit safer to keep us in the race, and we'll see if we can see some other folks, have a little bit of struggles through there.
I'm interested to see how the Mercedes AMG handles that chicane at Donington, because I know front engine cars tend to just drive over them.
Yeah.
So I think you can gain a lot of pace on that track if you can master that chicane.
Yeah. So I decided, just to go ahead and roll the dice there and see. I was actually looking at the M6 and the Aston. I was really kind of hoping to get the Aston just to keep my factory driver's license alive, but we'll give the AMG a little bit of a chance. It is the same engine as the V8 Aston, so keeping it in the family.
I think as long as you end the race in P6, you'll be doing your name well.
Well, we'll see how we go.
Anything to ask Casey about his selection, Saagar?
No, not at this time.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Casey. I'm going to drag you back into the green room, and let's bring in our next team captain in the draft. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Bye, Potts.
I dragged the wrong team captain. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Mason.
I was confused.
I skipped your selection. Nothing to do. That was completely unplanned, coincidental. No reason behind that.
Neil, I mean, this could have influenced my pick. I came in here thinking I might pick you, and now I'm debating going car.
Did I? I just?
I'm
just
rattled
change your
now.
mind?
Do you have like insider information with Potts? I'm a little scared now, but
No, he didn't spill any beans.
Oof.
Unfortunately, the pot did not boil over.
This has changed my thought process.
I mean, it would for
All
me
right.
too.
All right, let me flip a coin.
Yeah. What are you doing? Car or driver?
We're gonna go. We'll see when I read out. Mason, please name your team. The draft is today. Selects Neil Kerbal. Driver.
Wow.
I got
had to
picked
get
in
that.
round 2.
Wow.
My pot can finally settle down. I can turn the burner off.
Yeah. I don't know any of these. I don't know any of these cars, and I feel like at this point the Jag's probably the best car left. But it's like what it is. What it is.
Well, you now have the highest team average grid rating at 1805 by adding me to your team.
That was the plan.
That
That's
is
also
the plan.
the
We're
only
assembling
team
the
with-
Avengers. Thanos
it's
is assembling his Infinity Gauntlet.
It's also the only team with 2 drivers picked so far. So again, skewed statistics. Neil.
I just wanted to be different. That's literally the reason I picked a driver.
Oh, golly.
Well, I am slightly concerned because I know, Mason, that you're a little
Hot-headed.
unorthodox with
Okay.
your selections. So I am. My advice to you is to pick a car next round.
We'll see.
Okay.
Neil patting
Well, thank
himself
you,
on the
I
back
might not
for
have a
having-
choice if the next 2 picks or the next. I don't think I'm gonna have a choice. I think I'm gonna get the last car.
Neil's over here patting himself on the back for having a higher pit skill rating than a car.
Yeah.
There you
I've
go.
worked on that SimGrid rating so much.
Oh, I did. Yeah, Squatch in chat. He said he did pick a car first round. That is true. I did pick a car in the first round.
That's true. You did pick a car, but
Yeah.
that was a Tyler car.
It's still a car.
Still a car. Well, thank you, Mason. I'm going to drag you back into the green room and let me bring in Potts, who I accidentally brought in for Mason's pick. Go ahead, Potts. Let us know what Drop in the Hammer is going to go with for round 2.
Well, again, going with the sentiment that I'm not familiar with these three, and I did reach out to my teammate, Mr. Raza. He was unavailable, but he didn't have a suggestion on hand. So, seeing as he seems comfortable to be able to come up with a setting with any of these cars, we're going to forgo the car for now. Which leaves us to the drivers. I have a few in mind. I have to leave Steven Music off the list because I have teamed up with him in the last draft and drive. So he is out. And I was going to go for Neil, but apparently Mason stole him from me. But alas, I can't pick Neil either because we actually teamed up in a prior series as well. So again, I'm looking for people that I haven't teamed up with before. So even though I've driven with him quite a bit, we've never been on the same team. I'm going to go with Eric Gukassian.
Eric the Boss Gukassian picked in round 2 after all the smack talk about him earlier on in this draft and drive selection. I'm sure
we got to get an interview with Eric.
I'm sure he's around.
Eric, he's definitely around. I'm going to drag him into the stream room. Eric, you've been picked for round 2 of the draft and drive by Potts Weaver. You have not driven on a team with him before. Let us know your thoughts, feelings. How are you feeling about this selection?
We're pretty happy to be up there in the second round. Appreciative of the Potts Weaver camp. The family is grateful. The team is grateful. We're going to put our hard work out there. And by that, I mean probably skip every single practice session, take care of the kids, and come back in the last minute and absolutely fail my team and putting myself in last position. But we're going to come out with a lot of heart and a lot of will and see what happens.
Eric's going to just let his wife, Mrs. Gukassian, drive for the final round and just go, "It wasn't me, I swear."
Yeah, in reality, you didn't pick Eric Gukassian, you picked Mrs. Gukassian.
She did really good in the in real life friend swap, though, didn't she?
Yeah, that's until Mason freaking crashed into her in quali.
Mason, shame bell for Mason.
Shame Mason. But yeah, happy to be the pretty high pick. I would have recommended probably 10 other people to pick instead of me, but appreciative nonetheless. Looking forward to a little razzle and dazzle on our team. And Potts has been pretty quick lately, so looks like I'm going to be riding on these guys' coattails.
Yeah, I think that's a really strong pick, Potts. Like, your team is looking pretty strong.
Awesome.
Neil, what are you talking about? I'm a horrible pick.
Yeah, but you can lean on Ali Raza, like sap some of his skill to level yourself up.
Yeah, the only way I'm going to be doing well is if Ali comes behind me and pushes me all the way through the lap.
It wasn't done in season 1, and I know you got stuck with a Gallardo last season, so
yeah.
We need less of the self-deprecating talk. You got this.
No, we're gonna do fine.
I have faith in you.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do fine.
There's draft in the title. You can draft behind Ali Raza. It's a strategy. It could work.
Yep. No, we're good. We're good. We're looking forward to it. I do like Donington. It's a fun track, even though I don't know how to take the chicane. So looking forward to those 3-strike and drive-through situations. But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I mean, the rider is not on here, so it can't be any worse than last time around. So we're good.
Strong words. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Potts, for your selection. I'm going to drag you both back to your respected channels. And then let's bring in Luke Lizama. Luke, you were first in round 1. You are now last in round 2. Are you going to... What are you going to select this time around? Driver or car?
So I have 2 picks, right?
You actually do have 2 picks because you're ending round 2 and you're starting round 3.
Okay, so for my last round 2 pick, I would like to go with Steven.
Steven Music. What do you know about Steven Music?
I just a little secret. I'll keep it as a secret for now. I'll reveal it later.
Okay.
All right. And then starting us off for round 3, what are you going with?
Yeah. I am going with the Porsche 991. Thank you.
Porsche 991. Taking the Porsche off of the list, we got 2 cars remaining. What is your decision behind picking the Porsche?
Well, at first, my first idea was like maybe I'd go with the AMG because I thought that was like one of the most stable cars out of all these things. So I was like, okay, we can work with this, right? But I never expected people to start picking round 2 cars. Like everyone folded under pressure so easily. So I was like, okay. But that just means I have 3 amazing drivers, and one of them is a Porsche driver as well, Steven. Steven's a Porsche guy. So I thought double pick Porsche guy plus Porsche. I think our team's going to do really well.
That's some good research on your side, Luke. Knowing your drivers, knowing what cars that.
Thank you, Jake. Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't you that did the research, but it was a good selection. Regardless, you got your 2 drivers from the driver class, and you got your car now. So we'll see once we get to you at the end of round 4 what your selection will be. Thank you for that, Luke.
Yeah, whoever I get, I'm gonna.
Sorry, was it Steven Tomazic or Steven Music that you picked?
Tomavic.
Tomazic. Okay, well, let's change that up, Neil. The
will
chat
fix
has
that.
been on top of us about that.
I thought he said music.
No, I just
No.
said Steven.
You're just listening to good music from the lo-fi chilled beats 12 hours of through the YouTube channel.
And now that my
Tomazic.
rage has subsided, I can focus now on soft, cooling, chill.
Oh yeah, Jake Wells was
lo-fi
typing in
music.
chat. Yeah, I didn't even know they put music. I thought they put Tomazic. I thought there was only one Steven.
There are 2. Okay, so you did want Steven Tomazic.
Yes, he's the Porsche guy.
Got it. Okay, excellent. So that has been updated. Has chat been appeased?
Chat has been soothed by the picks and the
Excellent.
corrections. Yes.
Excellent. We're good. So thank you, Luke. I'm gonna drag you back into the green room, and let's bring back Potts Weaver. You are second to go in round 3. You have 2 exceptional drivers on your team. What are you going with for your 3rd round selection?
Oh boy. I need
Potts
30
Billy
seconds.
Weaver. Biding some time.
Keeping us in suspense.
Tomazic is mad about no interview.
Oh, hold on. Do we want to
Go ahead. I need some
do
time.
You need some time?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to drag you back into the green room, and I'll bring in Steven Tomazic and Luke Lazama. Let's go back to round 3, pick 1. Luke Lazama, you just picked Steven Tomazic. We didn't make any mistakes about picking another Steven. What are your thoughts, Steven?
I'm excited to be racing with Luke. This will be our first time racing together, actually. And hopefully I will have my computer back together by the time we go racing.
That's a good sign.
Ah,
That's
nice.
A good,
Nice.
That's a good sign. Did you know this?
Reassuring.
Luke? Yeah, did you know this, Luke? That
Very
this was
reassuring.
happening before
You know
picked-
what? You know what? Me and Steven will be up all night diagnosing the issue, and we'll talk to our people. You know,
There's no diagnosis needed. I've already figured out the problem. It's all it's all apart because I'm building a new one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, nice.
Are you sure you didn't
Well, I'll
need
be,
Steven Music now, Luke Lazama? I thought I heard
I
you
still
say
mean
Steven Music.
Tomazic. I still
Okay.
mean Tomazic.
Getting
I still mean Tomazic.
getting the wax out of my ears, making sure. Okay.
Yeah, I trust him. He seems like a trustworthy guy. I trust him.
Well,
Are you still doing? Are you a Porsche guy, Steven?
I'm more of an Aston Martin guy, but I am comfortable to a degree in the Porsche.
Okay, all right. And then, are you still doing your PC build stream?
I will be restarting it when Draft and Drive is over.
right on.
Awesome. So once we're done here, everyone, you can all check out Steven Tomazic building his PC, which will be raced with next Sunday.
I will be watching it with many concerns.
Yeah, Stevens, go ahead and send me the link, and I'll incorporate a raid after this to go straight towards your stream. If you start it up just a few minutes before we wrap things up, and I pray to God that your PC build goes a lot smoother than watching Mike Noss work with his Technics and his Lego sets PC build, because boy, Mike Noss had no idea what he was doing apparently. So I hope you've got some more skills than him.
I've been building computers for 10 years, so I should be all right.
Okay, I trust you. I trust you. Okay, Mike Noss, no dog on you. By the way, it was just a tough build that you went through. That's for sure.
Shots fired between commentators. That's a good way to end this round. I'm going to drag you guys back to your respected channels.
And Mike is actually here. God darn it.
We've given Potts plenty of time to think what he wants to do for his round 3 pick. Potts, do you
Mike,
have an
you're
answer
supposed to be
for
at
us?
dinner somewhere. Gosh, get off of your computer.
As I said earlier, I had teamed up with music before. That would have been my next choice. So I think we're just going to pad our numbers.
Well, music
I
is
had a
there.
brief.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I had a brief talk with another captain who needs to pick a car, and I think we came to a consensus there. So I'm going to go with
NSX.
Randy Gross.
Randy Gross.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So this is, you did some back alley deals with another team captain. Do you want to name names, or are you keeping this close to the chest?
Well, I mean, there's only 2 teams that haven't picked a car yet, so I think we're pretty much on the same page. So
Okay. Well, good selection, Randy Gross. He's I think he does a lot of GT4 driving, so it'll be interesting to see how he applies that to the GT3. I haven't seen him in chat at all. Have you chatted with Randy Gross at all?
no, since this decision was kind of last second, I plan to reach out to him, but I figure we can all get on the same page. I've been on the track with him. I've traded paint with him a little bit, so I feel we can make this work.
Well, it's a good selection. You got 3 drivers on your team. You got the highest average grid rating score of a 23-24, so you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, if we can make the car work, I think we'll be in good shape. So
Awesome. Well, I love the pick, Potts. Thank you so much. I'm going to move you back into the green room, and I'm going to bring in team captain Mason Palchowski for his round 3 pick. My team captain. Let's see if he listens to my advice. Mason, what are you selecting?
Well, there is no reason to take a car because I will get whatever of the 2 cars I have left. So so we are going to take a driver, and the driver we will select. Mason, please name your team. The draft is today. Would select Steven Music.
Steven? Nope. Sorry. Steven. I keep doing the wrong Steven. Steven Music.
That is the wrong Steven. It says Tomasic again.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Yeah, and it came between Music and Terrell. I was very close. They're both very fast. I wanted the tried and true. I know Jake Terrell is like extremely quick, but there's been some crashing every now and then, so I just went with a little bit of a safe choice, even though I think Jake is absolutely rapid. So it was a tough choice.
Well, I like your decision. You are an excellent team captain, and I support every decision that you make.
Thank you, Neil. Appreciate it.
Oh my God, the brown nosing has begun, huh?
Yeah, he wants to make sure he's in the starting lineup, or I don't go to the reserve pool.
I want to be pole position, primary driver of the team. Make it happen, Mason.
Team orders.
All right, thank you, Mason. I'm gonna drag you back in, and let's bring in Casey Schutte. Casey, we are in round 3. This is going to be your 3rd pick during the draft event. You got a car, you got a really good driver that can pretty much drive anything. What are you going with for your round 3 selection?
Yeah, so trying to make a decision here. know what? I'm going to go with someone I have not driven with before, but have seen around, and I think Mason brought his name up as being fairly quick. I will go ahead and take Jake Terrell.
Jake Terrell.
Jake Terrell.
He is from Fuchsia Competition, correct?
I'm not sure.
Okay. My information may be wrong. I'm pretty sure Jake Terrell races with Fuchsia Competition, but I could be wrong. Ooh, actually, I see him in the green room. Let's ask him. Hey Terrell, you've just been selected for round 3. Just so I make sure that I'm saying the correct things, do you race with Fuchsia Competition?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Jace is one of my teammates. Yes.
Awesome. And what do you feel about the selection of being on Casey Schuette's Dodge, Duck, Dip, Dive, and Dodge racing with the Mercedes AMG?
I mean, I think I could dodge a wrench. Like Mason said beforehand, dodging cars sometimes could be a little hard. But what's it called? I do have some experience with the AMG and AC1. I understand that's completely different from ACC. So hopefully some of that knowledge I have translates over, and hopefully I can be quick here. I just hope I could do the team good with this selection. But I'm happy to be picked a little early based off of the SimGrid ratings.
Awesome. And then do you have any advice for Casey Schuette now that you are part of his team?
More gas, less brake.
All right, I like that. I like it, but it's just keep her clean. Keep her clean. Yeah. We'll be all right.
I'm gonna do my best.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you both. I'm gonna drag you back to your respected channels.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I will drag them to their respected channels, and then I will also bring in Ilipo, who is next up in round 3 to select, well, driver, since he already has the BMW M6. Where are you going? Where are you going with your next selection, Ilipo?
Well, so to me it looks like there is one very obvious choice right now, and that is Mr. Cheeseman himself, Jason Provolone.
Jason Provolone, come on down!
Yeah, Jason, are you around? Hop into the green room if you want to comment about this round 3 selection. I know you're a very fast driver, and you do drive the, I believe it's the AMG, so you got experience with a front-engine vehicle, so I think that's a pretty good pick, Ilpo. The Cheese Man.
Yeah, I think he actually was driving the Mustang in something recently that came up when I was doing my research. So I figured that it's a good pick for the M6 as well.
Yeah, skills should be transferable. Nice. Looking pretty good for a team so far. What are your thoughts thus far with the draft order?
There have been a couple of surprising picks, but mostly it's kind of going as I expected. People are getting picked in the order that makes sense to me.
Any picks in the draft order so far that threw you off? Any quick changes to your strategy that you need to make?
No. Obviously, the strategy kind of depends on what other people are picking, but I kind of got exactly what I was expecting to get on all my picks so far, so we are on track.
Next level. Like, I really like to see your strategy pan out, Ilpo. I know you're very technical and you focus a lot on the details, so I think this is a good order, and I like to see what you're doing so far in the draft. Thank you. All right, let me drag Ilpo back and let me bring in the draft dodger himself, Professor Chronotis. You got a driver, you got a car. What are you doing in round 3?
Taking Alex Freeman.
It's like he had that plan.
Alex Freeman.
Yeah. What do you know about Alex Freeman?
I know that he's got the highest SimGrid rating left on the list, and he's also raced with me before, and is a fairly quick driver for that SimGrid rating. Easy choice.
Yeah, I know he drives a lot of McLaren, so that mid-engine skill can transfer over to your car choice, which is the Ferrari 488. Did you take that into consideration, or are you
Nope.
just...
That sounds good though. I like that.
All right, he's adopting it. Excellent. Any questions for Professor Cornoda, Saagar?
No, quick fire. I like the draft pick. Good pick, man.
He had it planned. No anticipation, no waiting, just boom. Pick, move on.
If you have your draft ranking,
Yeah, if you have your draft ranking, it's not that bad. But
there's only 2 picks to go. Easy money.
Well, Freeman's also a fantastic driver too. His racecraft is probably better than his sim rating will indicate as well.
For sure.
He's been in some heated battles that I've seen over and over again, mixed condition racing as well. So happy to see him picked early on in this championship.
Thanks for the selection, Cornotis. I'm going to send you, the draft dodger, back to the green room, and let's bring in Joshua Worley. You are last in round 3, but you're going to go first in round 4. So you potentially have 2 selections to make while you're with us. What are you going with in round 3?
Is that Neil Kerbal guy still available?
Unfortunately,
he is not. He got selected in round 2. I will point out.
I believe for our final pick of the 3rd round, I'm going to go with Patrick Dubois.
Oh, there's a good one. There's a good one. Patrick Dubois got picked earlier than round 14 as predicted in chat. Patrick, how do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments below.
Yeah, if you're also free to get brought into the stream room for an interview, hop into the green room or one of the general voice channels, and we'll bring you on. What do you know about Patrick Dubois, Joshua? Have you raced with him before?
I don't know much about him. I've seen him, I believe, in the Wednesday night series driving a Mustang. I figure same thing with Darren Wicks. It's a car with a straight line speed. So we're gonna send it in those. Going for drivers that I think will fit this car very well.
Strong words. Send it with a front engine straight line speed, and that's looks like your strategy for next Sunday is just going to be get the car going straight and put your foot to the floor.
Yeah, those chicanes don't need to be turned at all. Just go straight through them.
Fortunately, Donington isn't really the place to have straight line cars work too well, but I'll leave it up to the drivers to figure that one out, not up to me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Joshua. Now you actually start round 4. You have one more pick. You got a car, you got 2 drivers. There's a few drivers still available for selection. Let us know what you're going with.
I'd really like to go with Gelson Cruz because I've raced with him before, but I think for the fact of driving with someone new, I'm going to butcher this name. Is it Raleigh Ducci or Ducci?
It's Raleigh Ducci, I believe. He participates in Sunday GT3, I believe. Are you familiar with the name, Saagar?
I am. Yeah, Raleigh Ducci is Sunday GT3s, if I'm not mistaken. And Doc Pops is asking, what the heck is this? This is the Trackalicious Draft in Drive, where we are drafting. Well, we have team captains that are actually drafting nominations of cars and nominations of drivers that have signed up for this event. And they're going to have teams of 4 drivers total, if I'm not mistaken, and 1 car, obviously, driving next week at Donington Park. So it is a kind of free-for-all pick of the litter, if you will, for getting a team set up for this next Sunday's event, actually. So this will be pretty fun to watch. And back over to you, Neil.
Thank you, Saagar. And thank you, Joshua. That completes your team with an average SimGrid score of 1750. You got the AMR Vantage V12. How are you feeling with your selections? Are you confident? Are you going to win? Are you going to send any heated words or challenges to any of the team captains?
I mean, I haven't raced. I've raced with a couple of these guys. I haven't talked to any of them. So we're just gonna give it all we got and see if we can overtake Jake and Luke over there for sure.
Ooh, I just saw a chat message. Dr. Potts TV mentioned that Burt Macklin, one of the drivers, we had some shifting around on the driver list with reserve drivers, and I forgot to add him to the entry list. So let me get that in. I do apologize for that.
Say Burt Macklin?
Burt Macklin.
As in the fictitious name of a driver from not driver. He's Burt Macklin. That's the FBI guy from
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Recreation. Yes, that's the name.
I do apologize for that. Yes, I do need to add Burt Macklin to the driver list. So apologies to every team captain that has not selected them. This is somebody that I have familiarity with driving with them in DRL. They are a fast driver. They know their way around cars, but I have only seen them drive mainstream cars. So it'd be interesting to see how they actually adapt to some of the older generation cars that we have on the grid. Thank you, Potts, for pointing that out. All right, Joshua, I'm going to drag you back into the green room and bring in Professor Kernotis. This is round 4. You have your driver, you have your car. So what are you going with for your last selection?
Well, I think the choice is obvious. I'm going to go with the second round pick that got introduced in the 4th round.
Do you want to call it out by name?
Burt Macklin.
Burt Macklin. So what do you know about Burt Macklin besides their SimGrid score?
Nothing. I've never heard of this name before in my life. This is someone entirely new. I know he probably should have been on the list earlier, and he would have gone probably in the late 2nd or early 3rd. Yeah, I'll take that luck. Didn't get a good roll of the draft order. But I got a good roll for that random event. Let's go.
Nice. Neil, the fans are demanding that you get bumped back to last.
I saw that.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. I believe Mason Perchowski wanted Burt Macklin over you, and then you should go to Luke Lozama's team to even things out. I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about it after the fact. This is a first-time experience where a driver was left off due to reserves shifting around. So,
I'm just giving you a hard time, Neil.
Oh, we'll speak about it after. I will say that I had to keep drivers better than me off of the selection just so I got picked earlier. That's clearly my reason for doing it.
The clear intentions.
All right, well, thank you, Kernotis. Your team is selected with an average SimGrid score of 2065. You got the Ferrari 488. You are ready to go for next Sunday at Donington. How do you feel?
Pretty good, except for the part where someone told me that the 488 can't take the chicane properly, whatever that means. So we'll see if we can get that car around the track. It should be fine. It should be a good time.
Should be a good time indeed. Good luck, Professor Kernotis. I'm going to drag you back.
Just set the right height to the moon, and you'll be fine.
You can take three track penalties before a drive-through, so you should be good.
Chicane is a social construct.
Yes.
Thank you, Kernotis. Dragging you back into the green room. Let's bring in Ilpo. We're in round 4. This is your selection. You got your car. You got 2 drivers. What are you going with for your last selection?
This last minute changes kind of screwed up my planning a little bit, but I'll pick Dr. Porkchop. I mean, that's a cool name, and I think we'll do well.
So what do you know about Dr. Porkchop?
I actually know relatively little. I could not really find out a whole lot of information on him, but I do believe he's relatively quick, so hopefully bringing us important points.
Yeah, what about you, Saagar? Do you know anything about Dr. Porkchop?
I don't know anything about Dr. Porkchop. I don't think I've ever even heard of that name.
I think he drives in the GT4 Rookie Series, and he also does some of our Trackalicious social media.
Oh, well then, now I know something about Dr. Porkchop that I didn't know before.
Great, I got to add something to the stream. Excellent pick, Ilpo. Your team is a average SimGrid score of 2243. You get the BMW M6. Anything you want to add at the end of this draft pick? Any teams you want to call out, or thoughts or feelings regarding the event for next Sunday?
I mean, it's really hard to say right now who's got the good picks, because we don't really understand the strength of the cars. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that selection. Good luck next Sunday for your team, and it'll be fun racing against you guys out on the grid.
Yep.
All right, gonna go ahead and drag you back, Ilpo. Let's bring in Season 1 victor of the Draft and Drive, defending his title, Casey Schutte. You got a car, you got 2 drivers. What are you going with for your last pick in round 4?
Yeah, we're going to go with Jelson Cruz.
All right, add in Jelson Cruz to your team. Any thought process behind the selection?
No, I know Jelson can be quick. I think he can be very aggressive. I've raced with him, door banged occasionally, but I know he's got pace. So, banking on that pace to help us out and hopefully get us up to the top again.
Awesome. I like the selection. Thoughts, feelings regarding your team for Sunday?
It'll be. I think we've got a good team. I think we've got pretty solid pace all the way around. From P6 down to wherever we're at. We're kind of mid pack. I think that playing some averages here, stay clean, maintain that pace, and have a good. Get all the cars across the line at the end, and I think we'll be in a pretty decent spot.
I'm seeing some chat saying that they believe the Backmarker Bandits average SimGrid score is not correct. You seeing the same thing?
Yes, I am.
I'm looking just at my values. Give me 1 second. I can look into the math later, but it should be using the same formula that the other teams are. So without going into debugging the sheet, Joshua Worley, it looks to be accurate, but SimGrid score, as we pointed out, is not everything. All right. Well, thank you, Casey. Good luck. Hopefully you're able to maintain the title and hold on to your championship for Draft and Drive next Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck, Case.
Appreciate it.
All right, dragging you back. Let's go ahead and bring in my team captain and future first place title winner, Mason Perichalski of Mason, please name your team. The draft is today. Should I add some exclamation marks to that? Can I do that?
Yeah, we can, or just quotation marks, because it was your quote technically, so it's fitting you're on the team with your quote.
It is fitting. All right, so 2 cars remain. Your team does have 3 drivers on it. What are you going with? I'm crossing my fingers. I'm not saying anything besides the word I'm currently saying. What are you going with for your car selection?
We are going with the Jaguar.
The Jag. You want to give us the sound clip, Saagar?
Oh, you mean the rawr.
Or just say the Jag.
No. Rawr.
Arr.
Is that what a Jaguar makes, or a Jaguar? Jaguar.
Yeah, it goes.
I know Pranav's in the chat getting ready to yell at us for pronouncing it wrong, so,
Jaguar.
yeah.
Jaguar.
Or. No, I thought that's the sound clip that you wanted me to give off.
Oh no, but I mean, we could probably throw that more in, just to spice it up and
For the last
get
two
the energy
picks.
levels. Yeah, for the last 2 picks. We'll do it for the last 2 picks. How about that?
Actually, there aren't even last 2 picks because the picks have already been decided.
That is true. That is true.
So right, okay. So for the last pick, we'll do it. How about that?
Okay, fine.
All right. Thank you, Mason. Anything else you want to add before we drag you back into the green room?
No, I assembled the Avengers and got one of the best cars. I think I won the draft pretty clear. So we'll see. We'll see next week.
I thought you were Thanos assembling your Infinity Gauntlet.
We're doing both at the same time.
We're doing both. So we're the Avengers and the Infinity Gauntlet. That is how powerful we are.
Yep. We're the Avengers with the Infinity Gauntlet. So.
Ooh. Okay. Excellent.
Iron Man dies
But
at the end of that movie, right?
No, but Thanos is on the Avengers now. So.
Love it. Well, thank you, Mason. Your team has been assembled. Was it Mason? Please name your team. The draft is today. Go. Assemble.
Yeah, assemble. Yeah, there it is.
All right, excellent. Anything else to add, Saagar?
Nope. Thank you very much, Mason. Good luck to you guys.
All right, dragging you back.
You'll need it with Neil. I mean, what? Who said that? Who said that? Lexus?
Oh, shots fired between commentators. This is going to be hard. I think I might have to leave.
My service dog was saying that under her breath. How rude, Lexus. How rude.
So rude. And there's no Lexus on this grid.
I know. That's what upsets her so much. She's been whining at me ever since I started the stream. No Lexus. She knew her favorite thing wasn't going to be out here.
So cold. None of the captains were informed of this, and Lexus is now disappointed.
Yes. How dare you all? For shame. Shame you all.
Shame for all of us. All right, Potts.
Would you like to pick a 4th driver and no car? Or would you like to pick a car and no driver?
If I pick a driver, can we just run around the track and that's our positions?
I believe you just sit in the pits with me and Mike.
That was a joke last season with the Gallardo. They're like, can I pick a 4th driver and just run the track? Like free cam it?
Well, if we're just sitting in the pits, that's no fun. So I guess I gotta pick the last car, the Honda NSX.
The Honda NSX, the last car selected. Do you think that's foreboding, foreshadowing? Does that concern you? Have you driven the Honda NSX?
Definitely haven't driven it. I honestly don't think I've driven any of these older, classic, whatever you want to call them, cars, non-meta cars. But yeah, I'm confident that we can come up with a setup that's at least competitive. Seeing as that talking to the other captains, obviously it's the last pick, so they think this is the weakest of the cars, but we're here to prove them wrong.
Are we going to get a drop in the hammer custom livery for the NSX?
I'm going to deliberate with my team, and we'll definitely pull something out of our hat for sure.
All right, anything else to add onto that, Saagar?
No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Potts. Your team has been assembled. An average SimGrid score of 23-24. You got the Honda NSX. We look forward to seeing you out on the grid next Sunday.
Yep. We'll be using Gross to his maximum capabilities to create those liveries for sure. Yeah.
That's also a good selection to have a custom livery maker on your team. All right, thank you, Potts, dragging you back. And finally, we have Luke Lizama rounding us out with the final pick. Saagar, do you want to do the audio now, or do we wait until he has selected?
We can't do it on demand. We have to do it when the people need it the most. And it was a while ago. We did, and we missed our chance at the third to last pick. We're could have been the Jaguar. But no, it's. I don't want to force it now on Luke. Yeah, I don't want to make him feel like
so I'm gonna. I don't think this pick is very unexpected. No one was expecting this. Very, very a hard pick for sure. I put a lot of thought into this since the beginning. I knew this person was going to be my pick anyways because I mean I doubt anyone's going to pick the lowest sim rating driver. So yeah, I'd like to pick Ryan Eason,
Mr. Reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. When it shows
he's
up,
going to be the one taking turn one flat.
when he shows up in ACC, his name shows up as R.Eason, so Reason. I didn't notice that until now.
No, I love it. Every time I've seen it since then, I've been like, nope, Reason. He's not Ryan Eason, he's just Reason.
And this was your plan from the beginning, Luke.
I think every single thing here I wanted. If anything, I think I would have preferred. The only thing I'm not happy with is actually no, I'm actually happy with everything. I think the only thing I'm like, ooh, that could have been a little different, is if I had the M6. But the 991 is pretty good as well, so I have no complaints.
Good pick.
Yeah, I know the Porsche on that is pretty fast in a straight line, so we'll see how that car fares at Donington.
Yeah, it just sucks that I went first because I knew I wanted Jake Wells, and I knew no one was going to really pick Jake Wells, so I was hoping to go third.
Well, your team has been assembled. You have an average SimGrid score of 1897. You got the Porsche 991 behind you. What are you hoping for next Sunday? P1, pole position? What are we looking for?
I'll make sure me and Jake lock out the front row.
A lockout of the front row with the Porsche 991. That's what
That's
Luke is
bold.
calling for.
That's bold.
That is bold.
No, we got it. We got it. I had some secret strings get pulled right now, and I'm telling you right now, we're gonna really love the 991 this week.
Strong selection, strong team, strong words. Excellent end to this commentary. I'm going to drag you back into the green room. Saagar, do you want to close us out for tonight?
Is that going to be it for us, Neil?
That is it. The teams have been assembled. The draft has come to an end. All drivers and vehicles have been selected. So we are all good. The next step now is just to have the team captains reach out to their drivers, get them to follow the teams, so that way they can be added on. And then it's pretty much up to the TRACKILICIOUS staff, which is essentially me, to update all of the drivers for this event to match their teams, their vehicles. We'll boot up a practice server so that way practice can begin. And we'll see everyone out on the grid on Sunday for the event.
Well, that's something I'll be definitely a little bit more comfortable commentating on, will be the race action and all of that good stuff. So thank you very much, Neil, for all of your hard work, and thank you very much for putting this on. I think everybody has enjoyed this handily, and if you didn't, make sure you're here on Sunday for the next Draft and Drive event, where we're going to have everybody racing, and we are going to raid Steven right after this. Thank you for the reminder, Mike. And I'm going to go ahead and set that up right now. Unless you've already set it up, Mike.
I don't know if he did. Isn't he supposed to be out to dinner or something?
He's supposed to be out to dinner, yeah. But perfect. I've got it set up.
All right, can do Rose Gaming. That's where we're going. All right, Saagar, thank you so much for bringing me on and allowing me to commentate with you. It's been a ton of fun, and thank you to all the captains for taking time out of their day this Sunday to do the event, to participate in this draft, this second season of Draft and Drive. Hopefully, this generates a lot of interest in these types of events. We got a lot in store for every driver here at TRACKILICIOUS. A lot of special events coming out this year. So keep an eye on our announcements. And, if you haven't followed us yet, please do so on Twitch. And I believe we're streaming this to YouTube as well.
Yes, sir. We are. Excellent.
So, give us a follow, participate in all of our events. We got a lot of fun stuff going on. We look forward to seeing everybody next Sunday for the conclusion, the race event of Draft and Drive.
Yeah, thank you everybody for sticking around. Thank you very much for staying tuned. And we're going to go raid Steven Tomazic in his not Mike Noss PC build. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody. Remember to stay safe, and we'll see you in 1 week's time. Bye.
Are we good?